Chicken here, bring you another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about the developer update that was posted onto Reddit this morning. So let's just go ahead and dive right on into some of these questions, guys. This is going to take a while to get through. Big shout out to Ragehammer, aka Voodoo, who's going to get the hit of the day. We're going to be diving on into Imitation Game next up in a second, guys. So, the first questions is, he's talking about the video. He apologized to everyone. Apparently the video is not going to be ready because there was some false information given about the update that apparently is coming out soon, and he said that in the video they said a bunch of wrong stuff, so he just scrapped it and it just went with the text format for answering these questions. So the first question, guys, I get annoyed when I'm scrolling around the map on Imitation Game Day and my screen gets hijacked so that Harriman can deliver the same old tiresome hunt. Can you turn that into a once only sort of thing? Arlight says, we'll probably keep this for now. We want to make sure that new players or players that come back after not playing for a while still have some context as to what's going on. As to what's going on. Also, Imitation Game is a huge opportunity to grab loot, so we don't want anyone to miss it. What he's talking about there is just when Imitation Game pops up on your map, and you get the Harriman popping up saying, like, hey, it's Harriman, Imitation, whatever is starting. So, we're going to be loading up some mindless units, guys, to blast through Imitation Game here, and just so we can kind of like read without sounding too insane today. So we're gonna get the Scorchers loaded up, and yeah, so the biggest thing to take away from this Q&A, guys, that I can tell you right now just from reading it before, there's an update on the horizon which is really exciting. I didn't even know about this until I read this today, so super stoked to hear that. Hopefully it's gonna be something big, new, and game-changing. I thought the Mega Crab was gonna come first, but it looks like the update is gonna be on the horizon sooner. So we got second win coming up. Let's go ahead and dive into an Imitation Game and get into a few more of these questions. So, the next question is, improvement of the game, possibility to search for player via tag name or to send direct messages between players, similar to how they do it in Clash of Clans, aside from the direct messages. He says direct messages, we probably will not implement as this opens a can of worms for harassment, trolling, and of course, like, Supercell's audience, it ranges, right? Like, there's kids that play the game, so direct message is probably not a great idea. Next question. If you're capable of starting a task force operation, it's been 24 hours since the last operation started, i.e. if you can start a new one, then you should receive an operating system notification to that effect. And Arlight said that was a great idea. So sometimes it's just people throwing out ideas, and Boom Beach is responding, saying if it's possible or whatever or not. A lot of them are kind of fluff answers. It's not really getting into too much, so I'll try to skip over those if I can. Are you guys looking towards a structured timeline for new hero releases? This is the next question. Any news regarding a new hero or change to the trader/hero system? I think it would open up a world of unique playstyles with different troop combinations and specialized hits for ops and even player versus player. Keep them coming, and maybe a new way to generate tokens, as 300 plus tokens needed to max every hero on release is impossible at this rate. So Arlight responds by saying, our release schedule isn't so structured that we planned out the next exact features of the next few updates. We want to make sure that we can react to players' requests, ideas, improvements. That being said, there are a lot of features, including the original Heroes concept, that need a couple update cycles to implement. In those cases, we have to think ahead of what we can do alongside those bigger features. So what he's talking about there is he means they have to fix the last update before they really plan out further ones, and there's more balancing that goes into the game once the updates come out, because of course it's not just update, it's update, see how the community reacts, see if the balance is correct, and see if anything needs tweaks or minor changes, things like that. We'll skip that question. We'll skip that one too. So recently in a stream, Crazy Turtle said that Supercell had unruled out the idea of HQ23. I've also read from the dev team that they would like to add HQ23 with new features, not just new levels for existing defenses or adding an extra sniper tower. What kind of ideas would the devs have to make HQ23, if it's even coming, fresh and exciting? So Arlight says, and this is important, HQ23 is not ruled out. We know the players are asking for it. We'd like to serve it up at some point in the future. It won't be in the next update, though. Okay, so it looks like, from my take of it on HQ23, it looks like they want to do something fresh and exciting. They don't just want to repaint all the defenses with new upgrade levels. So I think that's a good thing that it hasn't come yet, and I'm definitely excited to see what is going to come in that update. And he said it's not coming in this next one, but definitely something to look forward to down the line. Okay, so next question. Do we want to read this one, chicken? Many players. Okay, so the guy's asking, to my understanding, Supercell has their holiday in the month of July. He's asking how come they haven't been very active, and I actually talked about this in the video, so I'll go ahead and read this question. why they haven't been very active in terms of speaking with the community and things like that. So, Arlight says, this is mostly coming down to me, Arlight. Right now I'm juggling Boom Beach as well as Brawl Stars. Although I don't respond as often as I'd like, I'm still here on Reddit reading as many threads as I possibly can and communicating that info to the rest of the team. I will hopefully be getting some reinforcements down the road. When can we expect the next update? Hopefully soon. Keep an eye out. So, that's great because that's something I've known for a while, but I didn't know if I could say it or not. I knew that that Arlight was kind of, he was like the community manager for both games, which is why which is why it was hard for him to communicate everywhere, right? So it's good that he finally said that, so everybody will at least have a better understanding of why there's not always why the Boom Beach community isn't as active in speaking with the devs and stuff as it used to be. So that's been covered. So now we're going to head over to the Supercell forum and answer some more of these questions, some more of these developer update questions, and we're just absolutely rolling through Imitation Game here, guys. So, is Sergeant Brick supposed to follow flares? Yes, she will be fixed in the next update, is the response. So that's good. Sergeant Brick is going to apparently work in the next update. I imagine the next update, it's probably not going to be anything crazy. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of these kind of bug fixes and stuff, like a lot of kind of cleaning house. More so than bringing anything. Like, I don't expect there to be a lot of really new things to come. But who knows, right? Like, maybe Task Force vs. Task Force is finally coming in the game. Okay, so next question. When designing a new hero, what aspects of the game do you take into consideration? So Arlight responds saying, first we want to look at what's missing, or what does this fix. We don't just randomly add heroes into the game without considering why we're adding them, which makes a lot of sense. Considering why we lost ourselves here. So yeah, they follow whatever there. So we're gonna go ahead and start thinking about mechanics, blah blah blah. Okay, next question. Recently, Supercell tweeted a picture of the Mega Crab. I actually made a whole video on this, Dr. T's balloon. Does that mean anything? And Arlight says, no, it doesn't. It just means that he was on summer vacation, which I think we touched on. But anyways. Next question. Can we expect new operation bases, new operations, and most importantly, Task Force Wars in the new future? Here's the big question, guys. So these two questions are similar, so I'll answer them together. He says, we definitely want to improve and innovate for task forces and give players new challenges. We don't think simply adding more is the answer, but we're working on something pretty cool that we'll talk about later. Task Force Wars is still not in the cards, so that kind of sucks, but at least they know we want it, I guess. Okay, are there any plans to improve the friends list so we can add in-game friends to the list like Task Force mates, etc., without having to connect to Facebook/Game Center? And Arlight says, we definitely want to improve on this, but it'll likely not be coming in the next update. Is there going to be a new hero soon? If so, will the new hero be a melee hero? He says yes. Oh, wow, okay. Yes, but he will not be melee. Okay, so we have a gender confirmed, guys, a new male hero. Yes, but he will not be melee. We toyed with the idea of a melee hero, but it was incredibly difficult to balance. Since he'd be in the front lines, he would have to have a ton of health, or else he would die very, very quickly. Of course, if he had that much health, he wouldn't do very much DPS. At the end of the day, we couldn't find a way to make a melee hero very fun. It's not off the table completely, but we're not working on it for now. Which I guess kind of makes sense. I mean, he'd have to have like 3 times the health of a Scorcher to actually last long enough to do anything, right? When is the next update? Coming soon. Next question. The Cycle of Evil events are okay at the moment, providing something slightly different to the normal map clearing, though introducing freshness to the cycle like Imitation Game is nice. Are there any plans to shake up the cycle again and add a new event with a new bad guy, for example? Arlight responds by saying, our initial plan is to make the cycle a bit more understandable so that you knew, it's Friday, so Hammerman is here. That being said, we'd love to shake it up a bit more and try new things. So we're going to launch a shock down here and here. When is the next update? Coming soon. What do you think about in-depth storytelling and the relationship between characters in Boom Beach? Do you think you could combine new features with it? Arlight says, my very favorite thing about Boom Beach is the sense of deep lore and the amazing characters. Which is interesting, because I don't really think there's... I guess you could expand on some lore, but... anyways, it can be tough because our first priority is the gameplay. We want to make sure the gameplay is perfect and don't want to hold back because it doesn't fit a storyline. This means that once we finish the gameplay, we start to figure out the story, not the other way around. Okay, that makes sense. Next question: are you really considering changing invitation games so that it has 22 levels, one level for each headquarters, and will this provide additional resources, or will you scale the current loose across those 22 levels? Invitation game goes down. Back. No, we're not considering that. Right now, the invitation game is one of the biggest opportunities for loot in the whole cycle of evil, and increasing the highest level to 22 would flood too many resources into the economy and create a lot of resource balancing issues. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So I hope you caught all that. If not, I'll link it down below into the description there. So let's go ahead and do one normal player base without babbling on like a buffoon here, and let's just see what this guy's base looks like. Okay, we'll skip on that one for now, and let's just dive in right over here, guys. So exciting stuff overall. I think that's a pretty good dev Q&A. I mean, he basically confirmed that there's a new male hero. I don't know if that's coming out in the next update or not, but that's definitely exciting news. And I think just more importantly is the next update. The next update, right? It's coming very soon by the sounds of it. I forgot to take Ice Shield, but that's okay. But yeah, like I said, I don't think it'll be anything too crazy. I think it'll be more stuff like along the lines of fixing kind of the last update. He kind of touched on that a little bit, and he also said Task Force Wars, HQ23, none of that's coming right away. So still exciting to get an update for sure, but I feel like we should kind of gauge ourselves a little bit. It's probably not going to be like a massive update or anything like that. So next up, we'll get a shock going right about here, and that should hit both the shock launchers. Okay, we're looking all right there. And yeah, so definitely let me know what you guys think of this down below in the comments. I'm excited to read some things that I might have missed, or some things that you read into and had a different perspective on than the chicken did. So definitely make sure to leave a comment on the video, and just saying what you're most looking forward to. If there's anything you were disappointed with the Q&A, leave that down below, guys. And it looks like we are going to be able to get through this base. He did have some boosted ice, so wasn't the hardest base in the world, but also wasn't the easiest. We had second wind, which actually worked out pretty well. Maybe we need to play around with second wind a little bit more. But that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. Make sure to let me know your thoughts on the dev Q&A down below in the comments, and yeah, make sure to leave a like if you find it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll see you next one, guys. Checking out.